Every man fears it, yet almost no one admits it aloud. That chilling moment when you wake up one day and feel deep in your gut that another man has quietly entered your woman's world. Not just her attention, not just her loyalty, but perhaps even her body, and the part that cuts the deepest. It's rarely the man you imagine. It's not a handsome stranger trying to sweep her off her feet. It's not the charming guy she met on a trip, or some random man sliding into her DMs. No, it's the men already woven into her daily life, the ones who blend into her routine like background noise, the ones you probably never gave a second thought to, men who seem harmless on the surface, yet hold the keys to her emotions. Once a woman allows emotional access, her loyalty, her boundaries, and yes, even her body can follow. If you're not paying attention, if you overlook the subtle shifts, the small changes, the things she insists are meaningless, you won't just lose love. You'll lose respect. You'll lose your place. You'll lose control over the very relationship you believed was secure. Tonight, on Dark Psychology, I'm pulling back the veil on 5 types of men who can easily cross the line with your woman, often without your awareness, until the damage is done. More importantly, I'll share the psychological blueprint to safeguard your relationship without becoming controlling, paranoid, or insecure. Real power isn't about confining a woman. It's about becoming the man who is almost impossible to replace. Now let's begin. Number 1, the gym guy. Let's start with the man most men underestimate, not the random dude lifting dumbbells in the corner. No, I'm talking about the personal trainer, the coach, the man who spends hours with your girlfriend every single week while you're not there to see a thing. You think it's all about treadmills, squats, and getting healthy, but that space is a breeding ground for blurred boundaries. Why? Because the gym environment is unlike any other place in her life. It's intimate, it's sweaty, it's full of adrenaline. Bodies are moving, skin is showing, people are vulnerable physically and emotionally. It's not a corporate office, it's not her family home, it's not even a casual social setting. It's a place where physical proximity isn't just normal, it's required. A trainer adjusts her posture, touches her shoulders, her waist, her hips, all under the professional excuse of correcting form. That repeated touch week after week builds something you'll never see developing until it's too late. Combine that with gym clothing, leggings, crop tops, sports bras, and she is showing a version of herself that very few people see. And here's the kicker, he is literally paid to make her feel confident in her body. His compliments sound professional, but trust me, they land in her emotions. You think she doesn't absorb that energy? Think again. And here's the question no man wants to ask himself. If another man is making her feel strong, beautiful, and seen, what role are you playing in comparison? Now let me tell you a story. John's story. John is 50, a retired firefighter, hard-working, stable, proud. At first he loved that his younger girlfriend was taking fitness seriously. She was glowing, energized, talking non-stop about her trainer and workouts. But then things shifted. She began dressing up just to go train. Sessions got longer. Sometimes they ran late, conveniently close to dinner time. One day, John joked, "You spend more time with your trainer than with me." She brushed it off, laughed, called him insecure. But then came the moment that broke him. Her car broke down, and instead of calling her boyfriend, the man who had protected her and supported her, she called her trainer. That's when John realized the boundary wasn't blurred. It was gone. And here's what stung even more. It wasn't physical cheating that hurt him the most. It was the emotional drift, that subtle shift in loyalty, that quiet reallocation of trust. Once a woman's emotional energy flows elsewhere, it's only a matter of time before everything else follows. The cold truth, blind trust in that environment is like leaving your front door unlocked in the middle of the night. You're not being secure, you're being negligent. Women are emotional creatures, and when you combine physical touch, consistent encouragement, and a male figure who's present during her most vulnerable moments, a bond forms. Fast, powerful, invisible. Once that spark catches, it's no longer about fitness, it's about attachment. Your strategy now. I'm not telling you to go full drill sergeant. That will destroy your relationship faster than any trainer ever could. But you do need awareness and strategy. And get involved. If fitness matters to her, be part of that world. Go together, start a home gym. Show her that physical energy belongs inside your relationship, not just outside of it. 2. Watch the subtle signs. Is she spending more time there, rearranging her life around sessions, dressing differently, more deliberately, coming home distant rather than energized toward you? These shifts matter. 3. Talk calmly and directly. Not accusations, not jealousy, just clear communication. The gym guy is dangerous not because he's superior, but because he has access. Access to her body, her emotions, her routines. Ignore that fact and you've already lost the first battle. Number 2, the bartender or the DJ. If the gym guy is the slow burn, the quiet ember that grows over weeks, then the bartender or DJ is the lightning strike, fast, electric, unpredictable. These men live in environments where inhibitions fall away like clothing on a humid summer night. Bars, clubs, nightlife, places built on energy, attention, noise, and lowered defenses. The men who work there aren't simply employees, they are performers, charmers, masters of the moment. A bartender doesn't just pour drinks, he pours validation, he pours attention. He pours excitement into women who come looking for an escape from their routine lives. He remembers her favorite drink. He leans in and listens over the music. He throws a smile that feels just a little too personal. And the DJ, he's not just playing songs, he's controlling the entire room. He's the magnetic center of the night. His presence alone creates an illusion of power, as if he's orchestrating everyone's emotions with every beat he drops. And here's where men fool themselves. They think it's just nightlife. They think she's just dancing with friends. They think those interactions are meaningless. But that temporary rush, the adrenaline, the lights, the music, can fill emotional gaps a woman doesn't even realize she has. When another man becomes the source of what she feels she's missing, attraction forms instantly, not deep intimacy, just the type of magnetic thrill that can flip a woman's loyalty in a single night. Robert's story. Robert is 55, a warehouse manager, grounded, stable, responsible. His younger girlfriend loved going out with her friends. At first, he didn't worry. He thought it was harmless fun. She'd come home laughing, flushed from the excitement, telling him about the lights, the vibe, the music. But soon, a name kept slipping into the conversation. The DJ. At first, it sounded casual, just someone who plays good tracks. But then Robert noticed something unsettling. She would stay long after her friends were ready to leave. She'd linger near the booth. She'd hang around after shows for just a minute. Her late nights got later. Excuses got vaguer. She'd come home energized but distant, like her mind was still somewhere else, with someone else. When Robert teased her one night, "So, you staying after for your favorite DJ again?" She rolled her eyes. "You're paranoid," she snapped. But the turning point came when he saw the messages. Late-night conversations, short, playful, a tone of intimacy no man wants to see on his woman's phone. That sinking feeling in his stomach told him the truth. This wasn't about music anymore. It wasn't about nightlife. It was about another man becoming emotionally relevant in her world. The brutal reality. Here's what most men don't understand. When nightlife becomes a routine and you're never part of that world, you aren't just uninvolved, you are being replaced. Bartenders and DJs represent freedom, fun, rebellion, excitement, unpredictability. They embody the opposite of the stable, dependable man she goes home to. When a woman feels emotionally bored or stagnant, that contrast becomes dangerously intoxicating, especially for younger women who crave excitement. Your strategy now, Listen carefully. The answer is not locking her indoors, not banning the club, not having a meltdown. That will only push her closer to the nightlife world. Instead, here's what works. Know the environment she enters. Be curious, not accusatory. Ask questions, not because you're suspicious, but because awareness is strength. If she's in nightlife week after week, you can't afford to be clueless. 2. Establish relationship boundaries. What does respect look like? Is it staying at the DJ booth until sunrise? Is it messaging a bartender like he's her buddy? Probably not. Spell out what is acceptable. If you don't define boundaries, the environment will define them for her. 3. Create excitement within the relationship. This is the part men ignore. If her only source of thrill is outside your relationship, she will keep going back, and eventually she won't come back to you emotionally. Plan adventures, spontaneous dates, weekend trips, shared hobbies, things that ignite chemistry. When a woman feels excitement with you, she no longer needs nightlife to feel alive. You don't have to outshine a DJ. You just have to give her a life that feels more meaningful than the nightlife fantasy. A final word on nightlife men. The bartender or DJ isn't dangerous because he's better than you. He's dangerous because he thrives in a space where you're absent. If you stay absent too long, don't be surprised when her attention follows the beat of another man's music. Number 3, the wealthy businessman or corporate executive. Now we move to a different kind of danger. A man who doesn't need nightlife, doesn't need charm, doesn't need flirtation. His power isn't in his smile, it's in his status, his authority, his resources, his ability to command a room the moment he walks into it. This is the man who makes other men feel small without saying a word. For a younger woman, being close to that kind of energy can feel like entering a different universe, a world she's never experienced, a world full of possibilities, access, and attention, a world she can get lost in if you're not paying attention. The psychology of power. Here's what most men don't want to admit. Power is intoxicating, and not just for men, for women too. A man with status doesn't have to actively pursue her. He doesn't need to flirt, doesn't need to chase. The environment does the flirting for him. He has influence, money, connections, opportunities, access to experiences she's never had, a lifestyle she may secretly dream of. And whether she admits it or not, a part of her is drawn to that world. That doesn't make her a gold digger. It makes her human because women are naturally drawn to security, stability, and upward mobility, not just financially, but emotionally and socially. And when she's exposed to a world that looks like an upgrade, loyalty can start to shift without her even realizing it. David's story. David is 52. He runs a small auto repair shop, honest work, good income, humble life. His younger girlfriend worked as an assistant for a wealthy CEO. At first, David felt no threat. She often complained about long hours and pressure. It all seemed like normal corporate stress, but then he started noticing things. She began showing up with expensive gifts. "Oh, it's just a token from work," she'd say casually. But the gifts didn't look like work tokens. They looked personal, thoughtful, intentional. Then she started dressing differently, sharper, more polished, more intentional, like she wasn't getting ready for work. She was preparing for a photo shoot. David tried to rationalize it. "This is just corporate culture," he told himself. But what gnawed at him wasn't the gifts. It was the way she spoke about her boss, with admiration, with excitement, with a tone David had never heard before. Whenever he joked about rich men buying attention, she got defensive. "He's not like that," she'd say. But the final straw, the moment that broke David, she missed their anniversary dinner, not because of an emergency, not because of a crisis, but because of a late work event. That's when David knew this wasn't about work anymore. This was about a shift in emotional investment, a shift in respect, a shift in loyalty. The reality you must face. When gifts, time, and energy from another man start crossing professional boundaries, your relationship is already at risk. The wealthy businessman doesn't have to compete with you head-on. He simply offers contrast. You're steady, he's extravagant, you're grounded, he's aspirational, you're familiar, he's an opportunity, you're safe, he's exciting. And younger women, especially those still defining their identity, can get swept up in that comparison game without even realizing they're drifting. Your strategy, trying to compete with a man who owns companies or moves money like air, that's a losing battle. So here's what you do instead. 1. Demand transparency. If she's receiving gifts, invitations, or special attention, ask calmly, "Help me understand why your boss is giving you personal gifts. That doesn't sound like work to me." Her reaction will reveal everything. A woman who respects you answers with clarity. A woman who's drifting gets defensive or vague. 2. Watch behavioral changes. Is she dressing differently, speaking with more polish, putting extra emotional effort into work events, rearranging her life around her boss's schedule? These are not signs of ambition. These are signs of emotional entanglement. 3. Set boundaries for professional interactions. Private dinners? No. Work trips that look like vacations? Definitely no. Weekend events with only one superior? Absolutely not. This isn't controlling. This is protecting the integrity of your relationship. If she insists those boundaries are unreasonable, you've already lost more ground than you think. 4. Don't compete with his money. Compete with what money can't buy. You cannot outspend a CEO. You cannot outstate a corporate giant, but you can offer what he cannot. Deep emotional connection, authenticity, loyalty, vulnerability, trust, stability, presence. You can be the man she confides in, the man she respects, the man she feels emotionally grounded with. The CEO can buy her gifts. You can offer her something far rarer, a bond no amount of money can counterfeit. Final word on the executive archetype: the wealthy businessman is dangerous, not because he's predatory, but because his world feels like an upgrade she didn't know she wanted. Your job isn't to pull her away from that world. Your job is to make sure the emotional core of your relationship is strong enough that no amount of luxury can replace it. A CEO can turn her head, but only you can hold her heart if you're paying attention. 4. The male bestie, the emotional supporter. The man who doesn't touch her body like the gym guy doesn't excite her, like the DJ doesn't dazzle her with status like the CEO. No, this man takes something far more dangerous. He takes her emotions. And when a woman gives a man her emotional world, she is halfway out of the relationship already, whether she admits it or not. Because emotional intimacy is the first step toward every other kind of intimacy. Most men fear the wrong threat. They fear muscles, money, charm, looks. But the man you should fear most is the one who gets to hear her truth, the one she vents to, the one who knows her doubts, the one who listens when she says she feels misunderstood, the one she runs to when things with you feel heavy. He feels harmless. She calls him like a brother. She insists you're insecure for questioning it. But emotionally, he's sitting in the most powerful position a man can ever hold in a woman's life. Why emotional intimacy is the most dangerous form of cheating. Women don't fall because a man is attractive. They fall because a man understands them. A man who makes her feel heard, seen, validated, safe. When she begins sharing her frustrations with him instead of you, when she starts texting him after arguments, when she tells him things she doesn't tell you, that's not friendship. That's emotional replacement. And here's the psychological truth. Where emotional loyalty goes, physical loyalty follows. It's only a matter of time. Mark's story. Mark is 45, an IT technician, quiet, logical, rational. His girlfriend had a male best friend long before Mark entered the picture. At first, Mark tolerated it. He didn't want to seem insecure or overly controlling. They'd grab coffee together, text constantly, laugh at jokes Mark wasn't part of. Whenever Mark brought it up, she shut the conversation down. "He's like a brother. You're overreacting. You don't trust me." But things changed after one argument. Instead of cooling off with Mark, she disappeared for the night. She later admitted she'd stayed at her best friend's place because he listens without judging. That line cut Mark deeper than any physical betrayal ever could, because it meant something far worse. Another man had taken the role Mark thought belonged to him. The problem wasn't just that one night, it was the slow realization, the creeping, suffocating understanding that piece by piece she was giving parts of herself to someone else. The emotional parts, the vulnerable parts, the parts a partner should be the one to receive. That's the male bestie, not a friend, not a brother, a replacement waiting in the wings. The ugly truth about the male bestie: women convince themselves, I'm just venting. He understands me. Nothing's happening. But every secret she tells him is intimacy being stolen from you. Every emotional breakdown she shares with him is a bond deepening outside your relationship. Every time she says, I can talk to him about anything, she's sending a message. I can't talk to you about everything. And here's the part no one wants to say out loud. A man who sits quietly listening to her emotional pain is almost always waiting for the day she breaks. He knows vulnerability opens doors. He knows emotional closeness is the gateway to physical closeness. He knows all he has to do is be patient. The male bestie is not innocent. He's strategic, even if he pretends he's not. And even if he's not actively trying, emotional chemistry forms regardless of your strategy. Here's the move that works without turning you into a paranoid, controlling partner. One, don't ban male friends. That will only make you look fragile, and it will make him more appealing. Instead, ask the right questions. Why do you go to him about problems instead of me? What role does he fill that I don't? What makes you so emotionally comfortable with him? Her reaction will reveal the truth. 2. Discuss the dynamic openly. No accusations, no yelling, just clear, confident boundary setting. I want to understand why you trust him with your emotional struggles more than me. That doesn't feel like a partnership. If she gets defensive, the bond is already deeper than she's admitting. 3. Watch for transparency. Is she open about their conversations, or does she hide texts, delete messages, keep plans secret, avoid mentioning him, and downplay their connection? Secrecy is the alarm bell. If she's hiding it, she knows she's crossing lines. Re-establish emotional leadership, not by trying to outtalk him. That's not your role. Your job is to rebuild a space where she feels safe, bringing her truth to you. That means deeper conversations, emotional availability, active listening, shared vulnerability, and meaningful presence. You're not trying to be her therapist. You're reclaiming your rightful place as her emotional anchor. Final word on the male bestie. If another man becomes her emotional safe space, your relationship is already halfway gone. And the worst part, most men ignore the signs until it's too late. The male bestie is not harmless. He's not just a friend. He's the emotional parasite that survives on the intimacy you neglect. And if you don't cut that emotional reliance at the root, one day you won't just lose the battle, you'll lose her completely. Number 5, the male therapist or counselor. Now we arrive at the man society tells you to trust. The man with the framed degree, the calming voice, the soft lighting in his office, the box of tissue sitting right between vulnerability and revelation. He looks safe, he sounds professional, he feels trustworthy. But beneath that polished surface lies the most overlooked threat in modern relationships. Because if your woman is pouring her deepest fears, her rawest wounds, her inner darkness into another man week after week, you may already be losing her without even realizing it. Not physically, emotionally. And that's where the real danger begins. Why therapy creates intimacy. Therapy is designed to create closeness, a confidential space, a judgment-free zone, a structured environment where she can be completely vulnerable. Most men underestimate how powerful this is. A therapist listens without distraction, validates her thoughts, interprets her emotions, gives her undivided attention, understands her patterns, remembers her pain, and helps her unpack childhood wounds. Do you see the danger? Now, this isn't just a conversation. It's guided emotional excavation, and most men, through no fault of their own, do not listen with the same level of patience and precision as a trained professional. So she begins comparing. Why doesn't my boyfriend listen like this? My therapist understands me better than anyone. I feel safer opening up to him. Once those thoughts enter her mind, you're no longer competing with another man. You're competing with emotional mastery. Michael's story. Michael is 47, a construction engineer, strong, capable, hardworking. His girlfriend had been seeing a male therapist to deal with personal struggles. Michael supported it wholeheartedly. He wanted her to heal. He wanted her to feel balanced. At first, everything seemed fine. But slowly, something began to shift. She started quoting her therapist during arguments, repeating his advice, prioritizing his opinion over Michael's. Then came the comparisons. He understands how I think. He really gets me in a way most people don't. He says I shouldn't tolerate certain things. Michael tried to brush it off, but one day, after a stressful week, she came home distant, not toward him, but from him. And when he gently asked why she wasn't opening up, she replied, "I'd rather talk to my therapist. He knows how to listen." That sentence hit him like a slow-motion explosion. She wasn't just confiding in another man. She was actively removing emotional intimacy from the relationship and depositing it into someone else. One evening, she admitted she felt closer to her therapist than to anyone else. That's when Michael realized the truth. The boundary between professional support and emotional intimacy wasn't just blurring, it was breaking. The hidden threat no one talks about. Let me be very clear. Most therapists are ethical, most are professional, most would never intentionally cross a line, but intention doesn't prevent intimacy because emotional bonds form naturally when someone hears your deepest pain and validates it without judgment. And when your woman already feels distant from you, therapy can accelerate that drift. Why? Because in her mind, the man who hears her tears becomes the man she feels closest to. The man who understands her insecurities becomes the man she trusts the most. The man who helps her heal can quietly become the man she leans on emotionally. And once emotional loyalty shifts, everything else becomes vulnerable. Supporting therapy is not the problem. Losing emotional leadership is. Here's how to protect your relationship without appearing insecure. 1. Encourage therapy, but redirect it into couples therapy. If she's already emotionally invested in sessions, invite the process to include you. When the therapist works with both of you, the emotional investment is shared. You reconnect. You grow together. The therapist becomes a tool, not a replacement. 2. Set boundaries around secrecy. Therapy should not become a vault that excludes you entirely. If she says, "I only talk about certain things with him," or "you wouldn't understand," that's emotional isolation, a major red flag. Ask her directly but calmly, "Do you feel like you can only open up in therapy? Because if that's true, we need to strengthen our connection." Not accusatory, not panicked, just honest. 3. Watch the timing of her emotions. Does she run to therapy instead of talking to you? Does she seem more distant after certain sessions? Does she compare you to him? Patterns reveal more than words. 4. Rebuild emotional intimacy with presence, not pressure. Don't try to outtalk a therapist. Don't try to be her counselor. Be her man. That means listening deeply, asking questions, creating safety, sharing vulnerability, making emotional space, showing empathy without ego. Your goal isn't to compete, it's to reclaim what should have never shifted away in the first place. Final word on the male therapist. The male therapist is dangerous, not because he breaks rules, but because the environment itself creates space for emotional transfer. He becomes the listener, the validator, the emotional protector, the safe place. And if you don't reclaim that role, you will wake up one day realizing you've become the outsider in your own relationship. A man she trusts with her soul was never you. By now, you've seen the pattern. 5 different men, 5 different roles, 5 different opportunities for emotional boundaries to blur. The gym guy, physical proximity. The bartender or DJ, nightlife seduction. The wealthy businessman, power and status. The male bestie, emotional infiltration. The male therapist, intimate vulnerability. Different faces, different environments, but the same underlying threat. Emotional gaps and neglected intimacy. That's the common thread. That's the doorway every one of these men walks through. Women don't drift because these men are better. They drift because another man enters the emotional space you stopped occupying. That's the truth most men never face. And here's the dark, painful irony. The more you try to control her out of fear, the more you push her directly into the arms of the very men you're trying to protect her from. Fear backfires. Control backfires. Suspicion always backfires. So what does work? Not surveillance, not jealousy, not checking her phone, not playing detective at 3 a.m. No. The smartest strategy is emotional defense, not by restricting her world, but by becoming the man who is hardest to replace. The man she chooses every day, not because she's limited, but because she's loyal, because she wants to be, because she sees value in staying, not fear in leaving. This is where real masculine security comes from. And to understand how this works, let me tell you about someone who got it right. George's story. George is 54, an insurance worker, reliable, easygoing, a good man. His younger girlfriend started getting close to a male co-worker. Little things at first, lunch breaks, inside jokes, shared projects, late-night work texts. George felt the sting of jealousy, that sinking feeling every man tries to ignore. But instead of exploding, instead of forbidding her from talking to the co-worker, instead of spiraling into insecurity, George did something most men never think to do. He approached her calmly. He laid out what he noticed without attacking, without accusations, without fear-driven energy. And then he asked her one simple but powerful question. Are we losing our spark? That question hit deeper than any argument ever could, because instead of focusing on the co-worker, he focused on the relationship, on them. Then George made a decision. He wasn't going to fight the co-worker. He wasn't going to interrogate her. He wasn't going to compete in desperation. No, he was going to upgrade himself. He started improving his health, rebuilding his confidence, refocusing on his career, reinvesting in their relationship, surprising her with dates, and reigniting the chemistry they once had. Not by begging, not by pleading, not by panicking, but by becoming the version of himself she fell for in the first place, and then surpassing it. You know what happened? The co-worker faded back into the background where he belonged. Why? Not because George controlled her, but because he reclaimed the emotional space that belonged to him. That's how you defend your relationship without losing your dignity or your masculinity. That's how you stay in control without becoming a tyrant or a jealous boy. The truth most men don't want to hear. Listen carefully. You cannot stop every threat. You can't eliminate every man. You can't forbid every situation. You can't monitor every detail of her life. There will always be trainers, DJs, executives, and best friends. You cannot control the world, but you can control your presence. You can control your value, your strength, your awareness, your confidence, your emotional leadership, your standards, your boundaries. You can become the man whose absence hurts more than any other man's presence. The man she doesn't want to risk losing. That is real masculine security. And here's what the strategy looks like in action. The 4 pillars of emotional defense. 1. Direct, transparent communication. Not nagging, not passive-aggressive questions, not flipping through her phone in the dark. Say what you see. Say how it makes you feel. Say what you expect. A woman who cares will respond with honesty. A woman who's drifting will respond with defensiveness. Either way, you gain clarity. 2. Observation without paranoia. Watch her patterns, time spent, behavior changes, sudden secrecy, energy shifts, new routines, and new emotional attachments. Not to accuse, not to panic, but to see the truth as it is, not as you hope it is. That's masculine awareness. 3. Continuous self-investment. This is where most men fail. They become stagnant, predictable, comfortable, uninspired. Women don't leave because of one fight. They leave because the relationship stops evolving. So evolve mentally, emotionally, financially, and physically. Become the man who keeps upgrading, not because you fear losing her, but because you expect more from yourself. That gravitational pull is something no other man can replicate. 4. Boundaries, not walls. Boundaries say, this is what respect looks like in my world. This is what partnership means to me. Walls say, you can't talk to anyone. You can't go anywhere. You can't have a life. Walls come from fear. Boundaries come from value. A high-value man does not fear losing a woman. He fears losing his self-respect. If she crosses those boundaries, it's not about controlling her. It's about deciding whether she still deserves access to you. The ultimate truth, real power doesn't come from chasing threats. Real power comes from becoming the man she doesn't want to risk losing. The man whose presence strengthens her, whose energy grounds her, whose value challenges her, whose leadership inspires her, whose loyalty she respects, and whose love she cherishes. You don't win by fear. You win by strength, by being the man who fills the emotional space before anyone else can slip into it. That's emotional defense. That's masculine mastery. That's the truth most men never learn until it's too late. Let's bring everything together. You've now seen the 5 archetypes of men who can slip quietly into your relationship when you're not paying attention. 5 men who don't need to be better than you. They just need one thing: a gap, a moment, a weakness, a space you left undefended. One, the gym guy, the physical proximity threat. He's the man who touches her body under professional excuses, the one who sees her sweaty, vulnerable, and determined, and gives her consistent validation, not because he wants her, but because the environment is designed for intimacy, physical touch, compliments, and closeness. If you ignore those signals, you leave the door wide open. 2, the bartender or DJ, the nightlife seduction. These men thrive in high-energy environments where boundaries get blurry: music, lights, alcohol, freedom. He's not offering commitment, he's offering a high. And if she's craving excitement, she no longer finds it with you. That thrill becomes tempting. 3, the wealthy businessman, the power pull. This man doesn't flirt, he contrasts. He represents access, status, luxury, and ambition. He doesn't try to take her, he just unintentionally makes her compare. And comparison is a dangerous slope when you're not investing in your own value. 4, the male bestie, the emotional parasite. The man she swears is just a friend, the one she vents to, the one who listens, the one who comforts. He's the slowest, quietest threat, and the deadliest because emotional loyalty always shifts before physical loyalty does. When he becomes her safe space, you're already losing her piece by piece. 5, the male therapist, the professional confidant. The man society tells you to trust. His job is to listen, to understand, and to create emotional intimacy. But that emotional intimacy doesn't disappear just because he's wearing a suit and holding a clipboard. If she feels more understood in that room than she does in your arms, the drift begins. Different men, different roles, same danger. Here's the truth men ignore. It's never about the profession. It's never about the man. It's never about the circumstances. It's about the emotional gaps within the relationship. It's about the boundaries you didn't set, the conversations you avoided, the changes you didn't notice, the intimacy you stopped nurturing. These men don't steal your woman, they simply step into the space you failed to occupy. And once emotional gaps open, opportunities appear. Once boundaries blur, loyalty shifts. Once communication breaks, someone else starts listening. That's how relationships fracture, quietly, slowly, invisibly, until one day you wake up and wonder how everything fell apart. The powerful truth you need to remember: this is not about demonizing these men. Not every trainer is after your woman. Not every DJ is charming his way into her heart. Not every CEO is buying attention. Not every best friend is scheming. Not every therapist crosses lines. The danger isn't the man. The danger is the unguarded emotional space. The danger is the version of yourself that stopped showing up. The danger is forgetting that relationships require constant investment, constant awareness, and constant communication. You don't have to control her world to protect your relationship. You don't have to ban her from living her life. You don't have to suffocate her to keep her. No, you only need one kind of mastery. Mastery over yourself, your confidence, your awareness, your communication, your emotional strength, your standards, your value, and your presence. When you maintain your own worth, your evolution, and your growth, you become the man who is hardest to replace, the man who fills the emotional space before anyone else can slip into it. The man she chooses, not because she has no options, but because every option pales in comparison. The final message: your power doesn't come from fear. It doesn't come from controlling her. It doesn't come from chasing threats. It comes from becoming the man she doesn't want to lose. That's emotional defense, the smart way. Not through chains, not through paranoia, not through begging, but through strength, presence, and value. And if this message hit you where it hurts, if you recognize these patterns, if you see the truth in what I've laid out tonight, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and share this video with a man who needs to hear what others are too afraid to say. Because the more men who wake up, the stronger we all become. Until next time, stay sharp, stay aware, and never leave your emotional doors unlocked.